So I'm gonna try that. I need to figure out what extra 8 charms I want to do.
My sticky notes in for April's shop update. Ta-da! They fit perfectly.
It is Tuesday, March 12th. We are 3 days out. 3 days out from when I leave for Galaxycon Richmond. Here's where we're at as far as prep goes. So I have all of the panels fully set up. I still need to print off new pages for these and mount them to the foam core. I already have this one designed, but this I need to play around with because I'm gonna see if I can fit 3 charms on here instead of just like 2 rows, so 3 rows. And I also need to go through and see what designs I want to swap out and what designs I'm low on. So that's the big thing for today. We'll see how much of that I actually get through. It is Wednesday, March 13th. We are currently 2 days out from Galaxycon Richmond. I have a lot to get done in the next 2 days. So before Animate in January, I ordered more of these because I wanted to get these up on the foam boards like those. But I didn't end up using them because I just didn't have the time. I cannot find where I put them, and I spent so long yesterday looking for where they were, and I couldn't find them, and it just totally threw me off for the day. I ended up ordering more, so I have more now, which means I can start getting this done. So here it was originally 8 per panel, but I figured out I could fit 3 rows rather than 2. So I'm gonna try that. I need to figure out what extra 8 charms I wanna do. So we have to design the new panel, print off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 probably, and get those mounted on the foam core and then mounted on here with the Velcro. I still have a few restocks I need to grab. I need to sort out this situation with the products, figure out how I want to display them. I'm swapping out a few of the designs and I need to do that. I don't think I need to swap out any more right now because the last Virginia cons I did, I had way less stuff, so it should be new enough for now. On top of Patreon rewards and getting the April shop update items up on my shop, a lot to do. I also keeps whining for me. Hi. Hi. Okay, so I have the panels done. Now I just need to print them and mount them to the foam core and then put that on the panels. So let's do that now, since that is the part that I'm dreading most by far. Okay, we have the panels printed and mounted on the foam core. Now I need to put the little keychain holders on here and then Velcro them. Okay, so I have all of the normal keychains done. I am obsessed with how this looks. It's so much better than it was. I just have the cat frappe keychains to do still, and then we'll have the hard part done. But the next hard part is that I added 8 new keychains since I added the extra row, which means I have to take this, which currently fits all of the frappe cats and the original 16, and I have to try to fit in another 8 designs, and it's already a bit full. I will probably have to move my bumper stickers somewhere else, but we'll see if I can make it work, I guess. Also, for my stickers, right, I use these trading card dividers and I fold a label sticker over the top and then I label so I know which stickers are where. For my prints, I've just been using these stupid little like note-taking sticky notes, and they're small and they keep peeling off. So I got more of the trading card dividers, and I'm gonna see if I can like stick them down here and attach another label to the top and make it a little easier to go through. As much as I do really love the colors, this is so much better. Now I don't have to like stick these to the back of unrelated prints. So that is my next plan before I mess with that part. I managed to get all the new charms to fit. I just like put the extras in their own little boxes to make room. But that's good. We're good with that. Those are all done. Now for this bad boy. All the hooks on there now to transfer them over. Okay, all of the charms are now done. It looks so much better than it did. As for what I still have to do, These guys are the last panels that aren't on foam core because I just, like, I've done enough for now, and parts of it are a little, you know, crumpled, but overall I don't think this one's too bad. I'll just leave it for now. I need to finish my sticker swaps and restocks. I have a couple of charms I still need to grab some more of. I need to restock my bags, like the ones I give with purchases. I need to go through my buttons. I need to see about restocking my coin purses, plushies, and hair claws. Then we'll be done, I think.
Unrelated, but I got my sticky notes in for April's shop update. That shop update is pretty purple themed. So I made these little sleepy time, like Dreamland Sprout sticky notes. I love how they turned out. Little lunch break. It's about near 2 o'clock, I think. So it's about time to get back into it since I'm running out of daylight here.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get the stickers that I'm swapping out while I'm over by my products. The first being this little tulip sprout glittery sticker. That is a past Patreon reward. Normally these are only available to patrons via my secret shop until a year passes, but I do make an exception for conventions sometimes because it's just easy to pull from these types of products because I have a lot of them. Then I am bringing back some banana cats since those are usually pretty popular. And then lastly, I'll be including some of my glittery bunny sprout Easter stickers since Easter is in like 2 weeks. In the cat section, I originally had this North Carolina state cat sticker, but since Galaxycon Richmond is in Virginia, I thought it would be better to just swap it out with something else altogether. I have to be sure to swap over the little labels to make sure I know which one it is and not get it mixed up. For my Sprout and Friends stickers, which is pretty much all sheep based, originally I had this glittery logo sticker because I just had a ton, but understandably it doesn't sell too well, so I'm swapping that one out with the bunny sprout. I think that fits in pretty well there. And then I had really run out of sprout designs at this point. I didn't have as many in January, so I used this little, what is essentially a Minecraft version of Sprout, but I will be swapping that one out with my glittery little tulip sticker. And there we go. No more gaping holes. The next thing that I have to do is I have a few restocks I need to grab for some of the products, like a couple of stickers and prints, but that shouldn't be too hard. I'm hoping I have enough either set aside for convention or like I just have enough in my shop inventory for the ones I want to restock, but I guess we'll see. Luckily, it looks like I already had extra of the River Bear and the Lasagna Cat, which are 2 things that I really needed to restock, so that is very good. And the same for these 2 prints, which I also needed to restock. 2 things I definitely will have to pull from my normal shop inventory is more of the Fattest Bear stickers and the My Tummy Hurts Possum. But I don't know if I have like extras of those. I should, maybe. Let's see. So it looks like I have plenty of Fattest Bears, which is good. However, the My Tummy Hurts Possum, I only have 31 of those. That is a really big seller at conventions for me sticker-wise. So not ideal, but the good thing is that I've only sold 11 online in the last 3 months. So even if I can't restock until next month, I highly doubt I'll run out. So I'll probably just take like 10 and hope that the 21 last, which based on the statistics, based on the stats, they should. But, you know, I definitely need that one for convention, so. Though looking at how many I have left, even after that 10, I probably have a bunch of extras that I haven't counted. So let's see how many there actually are. Yeah, so actually I have another 49 here. So I have like 60 something actually, which means we're totally fine. Update that here. So I have all of the restocks that I absolutely needed. That's really good. I decided that I'm going to bring all of my lanyards. Before I was just bringing the puppy ones, but I'm bringing some of my Christmas, Valentine's, and fall ones. The issue, right, was that originally they were just in this because I don't want these stickers to be cut off too much. And when it sat this far forward, it wasn't a problem, but I could only fit really one kind in here, or maybe two. So I decided to use my leftover foam core, and I made this like little barrier. I don't really care that if it's a full box or not, but just having them on the table, it's too easy for people to just grab and walk away with. So I figured like this little fence could work well. I think it like looks fine. I'm really hoping that this doesn't get totally crushed in my suitcase. It definitely could be. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to transport it safely, but I at least have that figured out too, because that was also a concern. To do this part, but Toby is just whining and crying at my door. What? What? It is almost 3 o'clock. I finally have these all labeled, but I think I'm ready to start breaking this back down. As far as I know, I have everything sorted out. This is the fun part because both of my little boxes with my stock, they fit perfectly in my suitcase. What? See, it fits perfectly. I just strap them on in. Ta-da! They fit perfectly and they're all strapped in now. Now for, you know, the rest of it. Let's get one last good look at it before it's all taken down. This is how full my suitcase is, just with the like actual panels and the display, like just the framework. That's not even including like all of the smaller items, the restocks, all of the sticker books. Let's see how much I can get this to fit this time. Also, just as some context so no one gets confused, I no longer sell fan art online, like via my online shop, but I do for now at conventions just because I still have a bunch of fan art stock left over, and that was a good way to get rid of it in a more safe way. So if you go to my online shop looking for some of this stuff, don't be confused, that's why. And that is a lot of it there. Current state of suitcase 1, she is packed to the brim. Let's see if I can even pick her up. Oh my god. Whoa. She is heavy, that's for sure. Since this is out of state and I'll be staying in a hotel, I'll probably have to bring another suitcase or duffel bag anyways. So probably take some out of that, just make it a little bit lighter. I am thoroughly exhausted though. I'm still not fully done, but I got the hard parts done and that's good. I need to get more hair claws. I need to figure out how many of my sky plushies I want to bring. I have a few things that are done but just not packed away that I need to make sure I grab. And then tomorrow, on top of that stuff, I have to pack some Patreon rewards. What? I have to get the April stickers up in my secret shop because my birthday sale starts literally hours after I come back from the convention. And then I have some orders that I have to do. So I'm gonna rest for today though. Here's the thing, right? I've never done Galaxycon Richmond before. Ever. So I don't know how good it is. I don't know how much stuff to bring. Because I did Galaxycon Raleigh back in July. Like 9 months ago. That was my best con ever. I made a good amount of money, sold a lot of stuff. And then I did Animate Raleigh by the same people in January, a couple months ago. And that was like horrible. I mean, it was like, income-wise, it was okay. But it was not a good convention for me. Or most people who were there. And I've heard Galaxycon Richmond is like an average con, but that can mean a lot of things to different people. My main concern is, obviously I don't want to bring too much because that's just a lot to have to carry around. But I really don't want to bring too little either. My expenses right now are around $1,000, which for out-of-state conventions is about par for the course, it seems. The table cost, I think, was near $400. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but my hotel is like $637. Thankfully, I've already paid the table cost like many months back, so like if I didn't make that back, it would be okay because like I already paid for it. But the hotel that I do have to pay when we get there, so hopefully I at least make like $1,000 so that I can cover the hotel. And my mom is my helper, and I give her a percentage of what we make. So all of my totals are always a little bit less. But I thought Animate would be okay, and that one was horrible. So I'm a little worried. I only started doing conventions pretty much less than a year ago. My first ever convention was Indie PopCon. I did that in June of 2022. So technically I'm coming up on 2 years since my first ever convention. But that was the only one I did that year, and I didn't do another one until last May. So I really considered that my official start. The June one was kind of like a test run. I did a lot of conventions last year. I did, I think like 9, 10, or 11 in like 8 months. I did a lot, but I still am not very experienced. And a lot of the ones I did last year were very small. I haven't been to an out-of-state convention, like with the hotel and everything, since August. And that was Superstar Anime at Virginia Beach. So this is all to say, very nervous. A lot of my conventions last year did not go very well. The convention scene is still kind of tumultuous post-lockdown still. People don't really have money right now. The good conventions are very competitive. A lot of the ones I did last year were worse than normal or were just too small to make much. And I don't want that to happen here because it would be nice to make money. Like Galaxycon Raleigh was amazing. I did so well at that, and I want every convention to be that way. But I guess we'll see how it goes. It is officially Thursday, March 14th. We are one day out from Galaxycon Richmond. That is starting tomorrow at 2 p.m. I am starting my day off with espresso ice cream. This is literally just vanilla ice cream with a double shot of espresso in here. It's literally so good. But that's just kind of the day it is today. I need a lot of energy to push through the remaining tasks before tomorrow. Pretty much done more or less with the actual convention prep. I need to pack my suitcase with my clothes and stuff, and also with remaining merch that I had to take out of the other suitcase. And then grab just a couple more restocks. And then that's it. I have a bunch of other tasks that I need to wrap up unrelated to the actual convention, like my Patreon orders and my normal shop orders. So that is mostly what today is. First up though, I have to get literally today's YouTube video ready to go. I just have to put all the music and sound effects in, and then it'll be good. But I need to do that in the next like 45 minutes
How am I supposed to edit my YouTube video when Miss Chai is just determined to use me as a little bed? How am I supposed to do anything?
I finally got done editing the YouTube video. I got the music all in. Took about 30 minutes, I think. So now I'm going down to my office so I can publish it, and then we can continue working on the stuff that I actually desperately need to do other than that. He's so concerned that I'm leaving because they're like leaf blowing outside, so they're scared. I have about 6 hours until my partner is home from work, so ideally about 6 hours to get everything done that I need to, which, you know, that's a long time, but I just, like, I'm already so anxious and I'm not gonna get everything done. It took an hour, but I finally have the Patreon rewards that I need done. Time for the other stuff. Of course, I would get packages delivered today when I can't really do anything with them, but I got these two backing cards. This one is for April's Patreon, and this one is for April's shop pin, and this big box is prints for April, which I can't like list before tomorrow, so that is unfortunate. But here they all are anyways. I'm so excited. Just the weirdest places to lay. Like, what is this? I got all of my shop orders packed, got all of my clothes washed that I need, and so now I'm just putting them away into my duffel bag. So I have all my clothes, and then at that point, once those are at the bottom, I can put the rest of the like table items that I need, the restocks and such, on top. So after this, I'll be nearly done, pretty much. It's Friday, March 15th. I currently have like an hour-ish before we leave for Galaxycon Richmond. I'm pretty much entirely done packing, but I have a few last things to grab, and then we're on our way. So at around 9 a.m. we left for Galaxycon Richmond. Luckily, Richmond is only around 2.5 hours from where I live, so the drive wasn't bad at all. We got there about 2 hours before the convention began. Setup was totally fine. It was a breeze. I have no complaints, aside from just the convention center being pretty big and confusing if you haven't been there before. I luckily did not forget anything for my setup, so that was wonderful. The first day for the convention was from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., which is pretty good hours. I had two wonderful table neighbors, one being my mutual, Chaotic Blobs. I will link her shop below. She makes wonderful stuff, a lot of blobfish. Overall, the first day was pretty good. I got some little treats as far as food goes. I did start to realize closer to the end of day one that I definitely underestimated the amount of stock that I needed for this event. You will see more on day two, but I ran out of a few things actually, which has never ever happened before. You can kind of see here, I was already down to like almost half of the amount of sky blue plushies that I brought, which was not very good because that is one of my bigger ticket items. Also, someone gave me this little paper star for good luck, and I think it really helped. Anyways, at probably 8:30, we got to our hotel to check in. Holiday Inn Express, nothing crazy fancy. I will say the parking for this hotel was atrocious. They had essentially 2 layers of a parking deck, but the spots were so tiny, we almost couldn't fit our car in there. And then I ended the night with some Popeyes. It is Saturday, March 16th. Yesterday was the first day of Galaxycon. Today is the second day. It went a lot better than I was expecting it to. Obviously, it's hard to say for sure. Fridays are usually a lot lower compared to Saturday, but I made back all of my expenses nearly to a T. Like, I think I still have maybe $50 in expenses that I need to make today, just from what we've like ate and food yesterday. But that means pretty much the next 2 days are just profit, which is good. I don't think there'll be anything like ridiculous. I'm hoping it's a decent amount though. It won't be anywhere near Galaxycon Raleigh, that's for sure, but it's pretty good, at least so far. Obviously I'll know more after today. But it was really fun. It went well. The internet was horrible. Could not accept a single card transaction via the Wi-Fi. I had to take them all offline, which is always a danger because when you connect to the Wi-Fi to finally capture the payments, there is a chance that any of them could decline, which when you have, you know, hundreds of dollars in card transactions, it's a bit scary. Luckily, only $8 declined. Not the end of the world. But it is like almost 8 a.m. and the show today goes from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So a very long day. And my shop birthday week sale starts at midnight tonight as well. So I need to get that ready while I'm out and about today. I'm really excited to see how today goes. The Holiday Inn that we're staying at has free breakfast, which I am really excited about. I'm really excited for, so that's what we're gonna go do now. Then come back up, grab our stuff, and then head to the convention. We just got back from breakfast. We have about 35-40 minutes before we need to head to the convention center. Wish me luck for today because I definitely didn't pack enough stuff. I was not expecting things to, like I wasn't expecting it to be quite this good. So I only brought 10 blue plushies. That's not enough. And I have one single bluey sticker left of a certain design. Hopefully I don't sell out of anything else. I hope those last a little bit today, maybe.
And here we are at day 2 of Galaxycon Richmond. We could tell just by the lines outside. You can't really see in this clip, but there were a lot of people on Saturday. And also, all 3 of the main guys from Blue's Clues were here, which probably had a part in how well I did at this convention. I mean, like I mentioned, it wasn't super crazy amazing, but it was pretty good. It was a lot better than I thought. But I had already had pretty significant Wi-Fi issues Friday, so you can imagine that this day on Saturday, the Wi-Fi was actually horrific. Not only did I have to take every single card payment offline, and I mean every single one, I couldn't use my phone data to like use Discord or Twitter, literally anything. I was completely off of Wi-Fi the entire time. And normally conventions have Wi-Fi that you can purchase as a vendor because obviously having access to Wi-Fi is important. That wasn't an option until day 2, and even then the Wi-Fi that they had available didn't work hardly whatsoever. So they ended up not even charging us for it. I'm pretty sure I talk about this more at the end, so I'll save most of it for then. Other than that though, day 2 was a really big success. I did so much better than I thought I was going to. In these clips, we are headed from the exhibitor hall back to our hotel. This ceiling decoration was so beautiful, by the way. It was like one of my favorite parts of the convention center. The hours for Saturday were 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., which is a long time. That's 10 hours, not even including waking up, eating breakfast, getting back to the hotel. So it was a very exhausting day. We got Arby's. You can't even see because the lights were out. Yeah.
It is Sunday, March 17th.
It is our final day in Richmond, which means we had to check out of our hotel. I was feeling very, very exhausted, but first we had to get our free breakfast. Honestly, I was not super amazed with the selection for this weekend. It was like fine, but I didn't end up eating much either day, especially because it was so early. Like I think this was 7:30 a.m. or something. Also, here's a fit check for the final day, wearing my Love Lobster lanyard.
I don't have long to speak to you guys. We're about to head off for the last day of Galaxycon Richmond. It's okay, and I'll wrap up the event later, but it's okay.
As you can see, Sunday was also pretty busy. The last days of conventions are usually my favorites because that is when I have the spare money to buy things from other artists and buy more little food treats, but also that is when a lot of artists do trades with each other, so I have some of those to show you. Literally everyone who I talked to, both attendees as well as other artists, were amazing at this convention. Also, here are some doodles that I did while I was a little bit bored in some slow spots. But now for the art trades. First up were these amazing stickers and buttons from Part-Time Cryptid. Dressy Deer had the cutest nostalgic stuff. I met a fellow sheep artist who was so nice. Then we had these really pretty and cute stickers from Star Wisp. And then two I didn't get a chance to record at the convention because it was before and after things began. We have Lee Strawberry, as well as this cute Webkins sticker pack from Burb. The last day of the convention went until 6 p.m. and then after that it was time to pack up and go home. The setting up and packing up is always the worst to me because carrying the suitcases and it's usually hot. As you can see, I was exhausted. But just like that, I was back home, reunited with my little kitties after like 3 days of being without them. I don't know what it was, but this convention, it was really hard for me to be away from home for so many days. Like, I was so homesick by the end of it. It is the Monday after Galaxycon Richmond. I got home last night. Let's go through my thoughts on the event. So I will insert some b-roll here if I have it, but I didn't take like a ton, so it might just be me talking for a bit. But my thoughts, right? So this is my first year ever doing this convention. I did Galaxycon Raleigh last year. That was my best con ever by far. But Richmond was, in a nutshell, it was okay. So there were like a lot of people, all things considered, like more than I expected. I ended up profiting, I think, a little better than my second best convention, which was AwesomeCon in Washington, D.C. After all my expenses and my helper pay, I ended up profiting around $2,100, but obviously the IRS gets like a fourth to a third of that, so keep that in mind. But for me, that's pretty good. It's pretty good for what is considered like an average mid-sized convention. Not too shabby for a weekend of work, essentially. That being said, Galaxycon hours are always so grueling. It's always so much. Friday was 2 to 8 p.m., so 6 hours. That isn't too bad. Saturday was 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., so that alone is 10 hours. And that's not including, you know, getting there 30 minutes early or earlier than that if you want to get like a good parking spot, and, you know, packing up and leaving. For us, we had to park in the connected parking deck, and the convention center is pretty big, so it was quite a ways away from the exhibitor hall. So it was a bit of walking to get there, and we ended up on like the 5th and 6th floor the whole time. So yeah, it's long hours. Even Sunday was 10 to 6, which is 8 hours as well. And that, on top of me not being local, I'm from Raleigh, so it was a 2.5 hour drive, which obviously that part is fine, but just the long hours on top of being away from home kind of just sucked. It was a really hard weekend, especially because I was away from my partner, which I don't enjoy. So, you know, that's my thoughts on that aspect. But the big gripe that I have, right, is that there was literally almost no Wi-Fi or phone data for anyone the entire weekend. Now, mind you, Galaxycon, I haven't done a ton of research into this, so obviously if I misspeak, my bad. But Galaxycon is run by, I don't know if it's technically a company. I think it's run by a business who does other conventions, right? There is, at this point, quite a few Galaxycons. There's Raleigh, Richmond, Columbus, San Antonio, I think. There's one in Texas. There's one in like Iowa, maybe. Like, there's a lot. And they also do spin-offs. There are 2 Animates now. Horror Weekend in Richmond. They do a lot of events. And on top of that, Galaxycon Richmond has been running for quite a few years now. I don't know off the top of my head, but at least since 2017, I believe. Which, like, even if you count the 2 years conventions didn't really happen because of the pandemic, that's still like 4 or 5 years. Which is all to say, there is absolutely no reason why the vendors should have not had Wi-Fi. Because not only
did none of us have cell phone data, obviously. They did not have vendor Wi-Fi, which if you don't do events, if you don't know, a majority of conventions have like a Wi-Fi that vendors can use and you buy usually for the weekend. The price varies, but it can be quite expensive. It can be like $200 a day. It can be a lot, but that is an option at least, and that is to be expected because as vendors, card transactions are usually at least half of the money that we make, and we are paying hundreds of dollars to table at an event. It's kind of expected that we would have access to Wi-Fi to make that money back and to do our jobs. That's the whole point. They didn't have vendor Wi-Fi set up, and I think it wasn't until maybe mid-Friday or even Saturday that they even started to try to fix the problem. It's like eventually did set up a vendor Wi-Fi, and originally it was going to be $100 for the weekend, which that's not too bad considering how much a lot of places do charge. But you had to go in a line to get the vendor Wi-Fi. Normally you buy it online, okay? You had to go away from your booth, wait in line, and they only did this at the start of the convention, so we had to leave our booths, you know, while the convention was happening, wait in a long line. We had to fill out this whole big form, give it to them, and they were like, oh, we won't charge you until the weekend's over or whatever. That's fine. And then once people started to get their codes, they realized that, oh, this Wi-Fi doesn't work. It didn't work. So like the only solution they had wasn't really a solution. Now, some people did get it to work a little bit. It varied obviously person to person, but in my experience, the vendor Wi-Fi did not work for me at all. I could use my phone a tiny bit, like very rarely throughout the whole weekend. It did not connect to my actual card terminal at all. So it really was not helpful for me. Because everyone was so upset, they ended up not charging anyone, which good. I'm glad, because you can't charge for something that isn't working. But a lot of people couldn't take card transactions, and like that really hurts. That is usually half of our income. I took a lot of my transactions offline, which is fine, but the risk with that is that once you go back online, you connect to Wi-Fi to capture all those payments. If someone just doesn't have the money in their account or whatever, the card can decline, and you have no way to contact that person or anything. The money's just gone, and they have your products. Luckily for me, I only lost like 2 transactions, $20 total, which considering how many transactions I took that weekend, like 160 at least, could have been a lot worse. And Galaxycon as a whole, like, I don't know what the actual company is called, but that business, a lot of the stuff they've done with their conventions isn't very great. I won't super get into it now, but it's just, it sucks. Out of an event that is run by an established business who has done it before, like, there is zero reason for it, in my opinion. And they didn't communicate this with us. The only reason I knew what was happening is because I am in the Artist Alley Network Discord. They didn't send emails or anything like that. So if you weren't in the Discord, you would have no clue what was happening, that there even was a chance to get Wi-Fi, or that it just wasn't working. So yeah, it was just like really ridiculous. On top of this, the Galaxycon Richmond for next year, 2025, it's gonna be 4 days. It's gonna be 4 days long. Thursday to Sunday. I could barely get through this weekend because of the hours and being away from home. I cannot imagine 4 days. So while I definitely would have considered doing this again, even though like it wasn't a ton of money and I didn't have like the best time, it was pretty good income wise for me. I would have considered it, but I can't do 4 days. Galaxycon Raleigh is 4 days, and it's horrible. Like the hours, it's just so much, and I live here. So if you're local, it's definitely worth attending and tabling, giving it a shot. But I probably won't be coming back, unfortunately, because 4 days is just way too much. But this has been my Galaxycon Richmond Convention Artist Alley vlog. This is the most like technical thing I've edited so far. I hope it was like watchable and that you got some kind of value or entertainment out of it. If you want to see me do other convention vlogs, please let me know, because I am doing right now 3 more this year, 2 in May and 1 in July. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.